Hello Rockstars, Gargudon here, and welcome to episode 6 of the Rockstars On The Road podcast here on GTABase. Today we're going to be digging deeper into the supernatural elements and aspects of Rockstar Games titles. And joining me for this is GTABase team member and returning guest, Yangy. Say hi.
Hello.
Good to have you back, and unless you have anything to say just before we kick this off, let's just dive right into it.
Well, depending on when this video is up, we should probably have the Rockstar community server open now. So feel free to join us, and that is a place for people that enjoy any Rockstar games to jump in and chat about them. Red Dead, GTA, Bully, table tennis, whatever floats your boat really.
I'll make sure to have a link in the description down below so you can come join us for that when it is. So yeah. Alright, but other than that, let's just dive right into it. So the first thing I would like to talk about is what are some of your favorite supernatural aspects of different Rockstar titles and why?
I like the crossover of the Epsilon thingy, like in Red Dead 2 and GTA, like
that's
Traveler.
right.
That's cool, and then the Strange Man as well.
There's some,
like,
there's a theory surrounding what's his name, Francis Sinclair, or what's his name?
Yeah, Francis Sinclair.
Francis something, yeah. There's a theory surrounding that he's actually like perfectly, describes the ideal human, in the eyes of the Epsilon Program. So even though, GTA and Red Dead are two separate universes, the Epsilon Program might exist in both.
I've always had the idea that we could have a huge crossover Rockstar game with like a multiverse type thing, like Noir or Red Dead, GTA, and everyone's assembled to fight one great Epsilon-based evil. Like if Rockstar wanted to do something really different, feel like the Marvel game.
Kraft or like Chris Fromage in his ultimate form or something.
Just like an absolute fucking fantasy raid type game. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But it's fun. I actually just got reminded of that like mission once you now that you mention it. It's quite freaky. Like, John or Arthur meets this Francis guy where he's an adult, saying him to go look for these rock carvings. Then when you come back, like a week later, Francis is suddenly a baby in the arms of his mother or something. Like, what? And there are a lot of theories suggesting that he's like a time traveler or something. Not that anything was ever has been confirmed by Rockstar.
Yeah, it's I doubt they would, touch on it. They like to just leave these things up to speculation. They'll never explain it to us.
Yeah, that's the thing with Rockstar in general. Like, even though, supernatural elements have never really been a part of their game or genre, they've never really gone into like science fiction or fantasy or anything, yet they perfectly implement these subtle characters or elements that are very sci-fi like, but that somehow feel very grounded in a way, even though they're far from grounded, and there's no answers surrounding anything regarding it. But they just add that pinch of mystery, which is really awesome.
Yeah, I really want them to make a game or something that just goes all out in it for the story, and that's the entire thing, or even just a DLC, a particular Mystic thing as a part of the Ultimate Concept Bundle available in GTABase. I'll take any opportunity I can to plug that. But if they were to really fully capitalize on something like that, like a full mystical story or like a full science fiction story, and like a proper even like a new IP or whatever, it could be so cool.
Yeah, and if anything, they could just do an alternate reality DLC, that they've already done with Undead Nightmare. This kind of alternate timeline that's not really canon or anything. Where it can be as acidic and as crazy as you want it to be, without it really affecting anything.
Yeah. I mean, you've already got a bunch of cults in Red Dead that you could use. Like, there's the 7th something.
And there's the Chelonians, which,
the Terror Worshippers.
Yeah, where you go save Mary's little brother early on in the game.
Imagine having to fight some sort of actual turtle god in Red Dead Online with your friends.
That's
it's a proper raid with a boss fight.
Now that you mentioned the cult specifically, that's one of the things that's really appeared throughout many of the games. We also have, the Kiflam Epsilon folks in GTA 5, and in Red Dead, as you say, there's quite a few.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, even then, the GTA, there's the Children of the Mountain, there's
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I forgot the name of them, the naked ones.
The altruists.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, they're really creepy. So yeah, like there are a lot of cults like throughout different Rockstar titles, which could be an interesting move going forward. But to return to as you I don't remember if you mentioned that, but I think the best thing is almost in the smaller or individual characters, like the Strange Man, for example.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of theories surrounding him. And while some say he's like kind of the living incarnation of like the devil or something, there's also, I almost want to say it's almost possible that it's just John's own imagination or something. That is like kind of this alter ego John has or something. Because
John Marston, dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah,
or it would make sense. He does go through a lot of trauma as a child.
Yeah, because he plays quite a vital role. Especially throughout, the original Red Dead Redemption, and then there's hints towards him in Red Dead Redemption 2. Do you remember that cabin you can find in, like, the bayou?
Yeah, with the painting and stuff.
Yeah, where you can go in a few times, and then every time you go in is, like, 3 or 4 times, like, more and more will be added to this painting that's of the Strange Man, and then there will be, like, paintings of either what is vultures, or eagles, depending on your honor, as well as wolves and deers. And there's some different text surrounding, like pieces of text in there, like describing your actions in the game up till there. And then the final time you go in there, you can see the Strange Man in the mirror behind you, which is really creepy. But then
the first time I saw that.
But then when you turn around, he's not there.
That's pure spooky.
Which really raises the question about the so-called Strange Man. Is he real? Is he like some kind of supernatural entity in the form of a human body? Or is he John's imagination?
Well, considering Arthur can go there too.
Yeah, I was just about to say that actually. Considering Arthur, unless it's because Arthur and John are somehow like wolf brothers or something, something beyond our understanding. That they're somehow connected or something.
Maybe a DLC, much like Gat Out of Hell or the thing you can do in Dying Light, where you can go to hell and fight demons and stuff. Maybe if Red Dead had a proper Halloween DLC where you go to hell and fight the Strange Man's stuff.
I haven't played Dying Light, so I wouldn't be too strong on that point. But I can see where you're getting at. Yeah, kind of like an Undead Nightmare 2, just even more extreme.
Yeah.
Like where you Undead Hell or something, or call it like there is a hell, there is a heaven. Like Bring Me the Horizon's brilliant 2010 album. So,
that could be cool. Like, imagine it's like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and it's like you go through these portals and like you spend half your time in heaven, half your time in hell, and it's like a strange merge in it. You walk between worlds and stuff. That could be cool.
And overall, as much as Red Dead Redemption is like just, a Rockstar fan's favorite Western universe and adventure, Red Dead Redemption, the universe, and especially RER2, really cranks up on the supernatural entities from how I remember. There's more beyond, just the Francis Sinclair, or what his name was, and the Strange Man. There's also if you ever stumble upon that, the ghost of, I think her name was Agnes, that you can find in the bayou.
I've not seen that one, but I mean, there's a ghost in GTA Online as well, so...
Oh, I would not be familiar with that. When was that added?
Well, not in GTA Online specifically, but GTA 5, the one in the hills.
Oh yeah, Mount Gordo. Yeah, Mount Gordo. Oh yeah, I've seen that. And the thing written in blood, and that's creepy. But I've only seen it a few times. I think it's in the bayou. You can go find this ghost, which like you can see it visibly at a distance, and it talks. Like you can find it. I think it's about 15 times in total, and there's a new piece of dialogue every time. I think I found it a few times. I think it's called the Ghost of Agnes Stout or something. It's really... Yeah, you can find it at Bayou in the night and when it's foggy and whatnot. It's really creepy.
Imagine if Rockstar made an actual horror game.
Oh, that would be... That would be brilliant. I think they're probably good suited for that. But even like, as you said, there might be more like supernatural aspects of the Red Dead universe, which I just can't remember right now, but it's across like especially for the most part just Rockstar's, two key franchises, RDR and GTA. It's also been in GTA, for like since the days of San Andreas now. As you said, there's quite a lot in GTA 5. There's the frozen aliens and sunken UFOs. There's, as you said, there's the different cults, and there's the ghost of Mount Gordo, and
the heart and the Statue of Happiness.
Oh, the heart. Oh, yeah, the heart inside Hillary Clinton, who we all know the Statue of Happiness is based on.
What if the Statue of Happiness in our universe was like previously a big, like, evil giant thing that the French, I guess, conquered?
It probably is. Like, I don't know, unless it's evil, unless it's like the devil version of Hillary Clinton trying to take over the world. You do know that story, right?
No.
It's because you know of the hot coffee mod, right? Even though like we were very young when San Andreas originally came out, the both of us. But have you heard of the hot coffee mod?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good. Hillary Clinton of all people was one of the people that really set the foot down against Rockstar for that being able to happen. So what was it in GTA 4? I think it was they decided to parody her by making the Statue of Happiness's face resemble Hillary Clinton, and then instead of the torch, he's holding a hot cup of coffee.
Oh my god, yeah, that makes sense because it's a hot cup. Oh my god.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, considering like how sacred and poetic the Statue of Liberty is in real life, and then it's just like a coffee joke in GTA 4. It's so brilliant.
I can't believe that the thing of the Statue of Liberty is basically a sex joke.
Yeah, like that's the thing with Rockstar. Pretty much, that's the thing with GTA rather. Everything is a sex joke. Like everything.
It's not a sex joke, it's a hipster joke.
Yeah.
Well, here's a fun story.
Yeah, like nothing about almost nothing. I think the only thing serious about GTA is Nico Bellic's character and story. That's probably
actually like GTA 4 story is like
GTA 4 story is the best. But I rather want to save fanboying over that for maybe when we do that retrospective. It's in a later episode.
Story though, I matched with a guy on Bumble and he told me how he felt as if GTA 4 was the best, and he just spent all the time shitting on GTA 5, and I was like, nah, I like it. I've had the more fun with it. I like my Fast and the Furious style popcorn movie with it, and he was so annoyed by that he actually unmatched me.
God damn. Nah, but GTA 4 is just brilliant, and as you can hear, I'm gonna get a lot more into that in a later episode. So yeah.
I've not got much supernatural elements in that one,
yeah.
Unfortunately.
There was, as you said, the Statue of Happiness, and then I think there was a myth called Ratman, which I haven't seen much upon, and I'm never quite sure it was confirmed. But there was this I think some players encountered it, that it was in the subway, underground. Some people heard weird noises or spotted this weird guy.
I think Ratman's basically GTA's Herobrine.
From Minecraft. Yeah, not that I'm all too familiar with Minecraft, but I have heard those rumors about Herobrine.
It's like a similar thing. It's like people have reported to have seen him, but nobody actually has, I don't think.
Yeah, like Herobrine was that kind of scary myth character that was never really confirmed nor really never denied existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean they just consistently removed them.
And I think that was, as you said, the thing with GTA 4. Other than a few Easter eggs here and there, there were a few myths and legends, but other than that, GTA 4 was never about the supernatural entities. But then again, just the Liberty City map itself there, a lot of parts had this kind of, I want to say not dystopian, but this very almost kind of dark, ominous vibe to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thinking it,
especially throughout
superhero game, they'd have to make a character called Batman.
Especially throughout I remember Southern Alderney, I think it was. Throughout that industrial area, that could could get dark and spooky.
I've played a little bit of GTA 4, but not much.
Oh god damn! I
There's
think
a
I've
hot
never
take, but
like,
I find the driving and the shooting
yeah,
to both be quite clunky.
like,
I think the movement and the driving in GTA 4 are clunky, and even though like the driving's better in GTA 5, I find the movement in that to still be quite clunky as well.
oh yeah, definitely. There were some mechanics and whatnot that were kind of itchy in 4, but I don't know, 4 is just amazing in so many other ways. But yeah, overall, 4 was just rather... 4 was just great, and I've never really said this, but like 4 was... GTA 4 was like, I think one of the first like modern video games that I really like got a close special relationship with, and it was the first Rockstar title I've ever played. Like, I don't even want to imagine how many hours I put into that in like late 2012 and up until GTA 5. Like, I've played the hell out of that game, literally. And I'm actually considering replaying it again soon, just for old time's sake.
We don't want to play through GTA 4, but recently I've been so busy I've not really got a chance to.
Oh, it's all good. But yeah, I'll probably replay that, because I think it's safe to say Nico Bellic is my favorite Rockstar character, and GTA 4 is one of my favorite Rockstar titles, but I'm going to get a lot more into that, as I said, for the GTA 4 retrospective we're going to be doing on a later episode, so yeah, let's save that. In terms of just back to the supernatural elements, I wanted to move on to one final title, and that is GTA San Andreas, because I think that is also one of the games, as I said, with Ratman, that it was a game that had a lot of myths and legends that were never really quite confirmed nor denied. You know what I mean?
Which is weird, because I'm pretty sure you could dive into the code and then easily confirm or deny it yourself, couldn't you?
Yeah, because I've lost track of how many like YouTube videos and titles I've seen, that's just about GTA San Andreas myths and legends. And it's everything from, spotting Bigfoot to I don't even know. And then there's also a lot of videos debunking these myths, and yeah, San Andreas...
You can confirm or debunk. It's like you go into the game files, you look for like the character model or the script, and then there you go. If the game's on PC, it should be easy enough for like all these people that know how to create mods and data mine and shit like that. I don't know how to do it, but there's people that do some impressive things with code.
Absolutely, and but I think San Andreas overall was the first Rockstar title that like introduced this supernatural aspect of otherwise a very grounded video game genre.
Especially back then when people didn't really know how games and such worked, and then like they weren't on PC and stuff, so like that really pushed the mystery, and then you get these like 480p YouTube videos.
Like, that's the thing with San Andreas overall, considering it's from 2004, man, I feel old saying that. It's gonna be 17 years old this year. That alone was just way ahead of its time as a game. From what I've read, even though I was only like 5 at the time when it came out. But it was but it was way ahead of its time from what I know, like on every level.
I mean, 2004 just had a lot of games that were ahead for their time because Halo 2.
Oh yeah, Halo 2 came out that year as well. Not that I've really ever played that, but yeah. So I guess overall, ever since San Andreas, more or less every major Rockstar title has had like some sort of supernatural aspect and several supernatural elements to them, even if they haven't like been a vital part of the game, and there's not really any backstory as to how they work, but they're there, and some of them are more than just Easter eggs. Like, it's part of the canon and such. Because while I believe some of some of those cults and stuff you mentioned might as well just be Easter eggs and such.
Actually, yeah.
A character like the Strange Man feels very real, and like it's part of the canon, even though there's so much mystery surrounding that character.
Yeah, he's only addressed in side missions and stuff. It's like, please give us a full story about him. I want to know more.
Yeah,
he's better written than most like Ubisoft main characters. You know, it's like,
and also just
I want
those
to know more about him.
And I also just thought of that actual rock carving side mission with Francis. Did you play that?
I didn't do a lot of collect.
Oh, I collected all of them when I was 100 when I was 100ing the game. But the interesting thing about that is, from how I remember it, some of the rock carvings have illustrations that didn't exist in 1907 or when it was. Obviously indicating that it's probably Francis is some sort of time traveler. Even if that makes zero sense, and he's been to the future, and he has illustrated these illustrations from the future into the past, which is so freaky. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but hell, you know what? I'll take it for what it is. And I very much enjoy that. Also, just for the sense of, because I'm a massive sci-fi guy, maybe, that there are these, very unexplained, with a lot of mystery surrounding them, supernatural aspects to Rockstar titles. It just, makes for a good sense of variation, if anything, I guess.
Yeah, I wish they would, I don't know, maybe it would take away from the mystery and the finding out about all this stuff. But I really wish we could have a whole thing where we could I don't know how to describe it, just have an entire story based on these things, just
absolutely. And that actually takes us to our next point, unless we have anything else to cover here, which is, where would you like to see the implementation of supernatural aspects go moving forward? And are there any specific elements or phenomena you would like to see in a future Rockstar title?
I'd like to see a concept of a blood moon thing in Red Dead Online. I haven't actually made this as a concept, but having a thing maybe where a blood moon event would show up once a night, and then I don't know, maybe werewolves or what's it called, zombies or whatever pop up.
That sounds interesting. I think I would definitely kind of like to see more along the lines of that time travel thing. Also, just because I'm a massive sci-fi guy, I usually love a lot of time travel-esque stories.
Yeah.
So however they could implement that would be...
I'd like to see Arthur Morgan in the modern day and his reaction to all the things, but in general, I'd like to see how the Red Dead Redemption 2 world evolves to be what that area would look like today, how the cities and stuff would develop.
Oh,
how the roads between them all would develop.
Some sort of... Are you saying some kind of interdimensional breach or something?
I don't know, maybe even just some sort of Captain America-esque story,
that if you ever...
John and Dutch get frozen in some ice or something when they go up north, and then they wake up 120 years. So Arthur, Dutch and the gang, maybe they get frozen when they go up to Coulter originally, and then they have to I don't know. They wake up 120 years later in the modern day. And
that sounds very Captain America-esque almost.
But I was thinking,
but I like the idea. If anything, just make it the sort of kind of non-canon alternate reality or something.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be canon.
I like the idea, and it's fun to imagine what the area would look like, the Red Dead 2 map, but in modern day, obviously we'd still have, settlements like Saint-Denis and stuff. But maybe it's safe to bet that most of the huge forest areas would have perhaps been urbanized and such, around New Hanover or something. And maybe there would be, I don't know, a ski resort in Amberino, up in the Cold Grizzlies or something.
I was trying to think,
That's all good.
Ski resort at the Grizzlies would be good, but imagine a 5-star all-inclusive hotel in Guarma.
Oh, down in Guarma. I like that idea.
You get Guarma, and you've got this whole big resort with infinity pools and a day spa.
Oh, so
I'd go there. Don't add that to the game, because I'd want to go there in real life. I already want to spend the night at the casino.
So you're saying going forward, some sort of interdimensional time travel breach in the Red Dead universe could be cool seeing?
Yeah.
Or something along the line. I can see where you're getting at. I don't know if you ever played Assassin's Creed Unity by any chance?
Yeah, I completed it, max everything then.
Oh, do you remember it was called the Helix Rift missions? Where you would go into this helix portal, and then you would be transported to Paris, but like 150 years later, during World War II, or 100 years later in the 1870s, where the Eiffel Tower had been raised and whatnot. Because Assassin's Creed Unity, for anyone who might be unfamiliar, originally takes place during the French Revolution in the late 1700s. Yeah, I really like that that aspect of that game. But then again, like, Assassin's Creed is more sci-fi overall. So
yeah, that's true. That could be quite cool.
So yeah,
especially considering they're an Assassinate Watch Dogs Legion has a similar sort of thing to it, you know, with the anachronism things. And I think they might be set like, you know, from the correct year. I don't think it's like a time travel situation going on with that.
Oh yeah, perhaps like I don't know, like I don't know if there's anything like other than what I said, like the time travel aspect that I'd like to see more of necessarily. Maybe there are some, but then I just can't remember them right now. Like, but overall, I just hope to, you know, I just hope that Rockstar keep these in their, you know, single player games going forward, because it's such a cool aspect of it.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to properly explore it, it would more likely happen as an online expansion. Like any of the sort of mystical things, I highly doubt to break the hefty realism they like to have in all of their single player experiences.
Then it would be because they saved them the next ones for GTA 6, like if that's ever gonna come out.
Even then, I doubt GTA. I mean, GTA 6 is going to have like a bunch of these Easter eggs too, but I doubt it'll have like a proper, you know, mystical story.
Oh, of course not. But then again, like, I'm fine with, you know, just seeing those like small Easter eggs or something in GTA 6. But then again, it could be cool, as I said, seeing one along the lines of Red Dead, where it's almost like an Easter egg, but then at the same time it feels very real. Like if it's a side mission, like the one with Francis, where you go in and like to meet someone, and then a week later that person like is old or something like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if we got like Francis Sinclair's like son or grandson in the game, like it was someone Sinclair and they talk about Grandpappy Francis.
And then make it related to Chris Fromage or something, the Epsilon guy.
Well, I suppose even then, right, they've said that, you know, Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead don't take place in the same timeline, but what if Francis Sinclair is a time traveller, and the reason that GTA and Red Dead don't take place in the same timeline is because he changed something in the past, therefore prevent them from doing so.
You mentioned that earlier, make like a Rockstar multiverse, because then it just came to me then that, you know, what was called the GTA 3D universe could be a separate universe, because Chris Fromage also exists in San Andreas.
Yeah.
You can hear him on like in-game radio commercials and stuff. I actually quite like that idea, like a Rockstar multiverse. That sounds really...
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine anybody that watches this, it's like a proper hardcore classic Rockstar fan, will be like, no, what are you talking about? Don't touch my precious games! You know, they're like the original Fallout, like fans of the original Fallout games, they're very protective of them.
Absolutely, and of course you shouldn't do, as I said, anything too big. It's just like the idea of it is a cool theory and such.
Yeah.
But I guess overall, like, also in terms of if Rockstar move into like other genres in the future, as you might have said, like if they made like a full-on sci-fi game or something someday, like then they're just gonna go full throttle on them. Yeah, and if anything, just some time travel elements or something. I actually just the other day started playing. Have you heard of Quantum Break? That game from a few years back?
I heard of it, but never actually got a chance to play. I was quite interested in it.
Yeah, I just started playing it, and I'm loving it so far. Like, you know, that's a like quantum experiment gone wrong, which like leaves the guy who plays who's the lead role, Iceman in X-Men, Sean Ashmore, with like time bending powers or something. So you know he can, you know, more or less manipulate time. It could be cool to see something along the lines of that from Rockstar. Either if it's just like mainly campaign driven, like Max Payne 3, or if it's an open world game.
Yeah, I feel like they have been like trialing a lot of ideas like that in GTA Online with like the Oppressor and you know, the Deluxe, so the stronger.
Don't remind me. don't remind me. GTA Online doesn't count, okay?
Yeah, but like I said, it's like the trial, and you see, how these things can work, how we can balance them. Maybe that's like a.
I mean, overall, in my own headcanon, anything that takes place like after 2013 GTA Online, not canon.
I'm like,
and I'm just saying that as an angry day one player who never got his story expansion and who's angry and so.
I mean, I've already delved into how I prefer the story expansion being turned into the Doomsday Heist, considering it meant I could play it with friends.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess you and me have some very different opinions on that, and I've already touched upon the Doomsday Heist specifically in previous episodes. So
yeah, I mean, I have a lot of hot takes. I mean, I like Fallout 76, so it's my favourite Fallout game.
Absolutely.
I suppose I'm probably not the best source for taste, but I don't know. I like online games. That's kind of my thing.
Oh yeah, that's cool, of course. But yeah, as I said, I can't really think of anything else like I would like to see implemented, like any supernatural elements I'd like to see implemented further on than maybe like holding on to that like interdimensional multiple timelines, possible time travel aspects, which I quite enjoy overall, and I've also enjoyed in the Rockstar titles we've seen so far.
I mean, people have been discussing this whole like leaking rumor thing that GTA 6 takes place over two separate time periods with the 80s and then the modern day. And it's like, that idea is kind of cool, seeing the changes in the map and stuff, and I don't know, maybe like your character leaves something in one place and then you can rediscover it, decades down the line, but it's all just like some rumors and stuff now, isn't it?
Absolutely. So yeah. But yeah, unless like any of us have anything else to add, like I think we should slowly wrap this up. Do you have anything you want us to cover?
What's your take on? Well, I don't know if you saw the Ultimate Concept Bundle, but the last DLC I'd had planned for that was the Mystic for Red Dead Online, where players could get these like trinkets and stuff that gave them permanent stat buffs, or like in some cases temporary stat buffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like a temporary immunity to an explosion ragdoll was one of them. So it's like a magical trinket in Red Dead. It's not like sci-fi, and then there was these like powerful horses, but none that could fly or anything. It's like maybe a fall slow or maybe immunity sliding. What's your take on having that, like something late game in
I'm not sure I'm actually too familiar with what you're mentioning specifically, but I don't have anything against it, and that reminds me, if anything, like kind of implementing, I guess, Native American mythology into like, especially a universe like Red Dead makes perfect sense.
I didn't do a lot of Native American mythology because I don't know a lot about it, but I had one horse that you could.
But like, I think it's trinkets, as you said, and I was thinking of what's the word? Talisman. That's the word.
Yeah, there was a few of those.
Yeah. There's also a few of those from what I remember, especially in the story mode. Also in online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them with Gus's Trapper Store now.
But no, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind seeing that in a universe like Red Dead, and I wouldn't mind seeing some of it moving forward, especially considering how big a role like that whole spirit animal thing plays in the main story.
Another thing where your character could have these visual curses applied to them, where they'd have like pulsing veins or whatever, like going up their character, just for a little bit like magic-y look, customization to it, just for like late game stuff. Because I think down the line, GTA Online had to get the sci-fi stuff just so it would be interesting and different. Red Dead Online, you don't want sci-fi stuff, but you can make like magic and fantasy work.
Yeah, Matt. You're probably right.
This is like 5 years from now, like when the next GTA or whatever is out. It's something that you can have later on. I think if they released it like tomorrow, it'd be a bit early for such content. But these days it's acceptable.
But as I said, just with also as I said, how big a role the spirit animal aspect plays in the main Red Dead 2 story. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that. Like, also if we ever like see Red Dead 2 story mode expanded upon and such, because that was I really like that. You know, all depending on your honor, you know, you become that or that spirit animal. Also, just like overall, I'm quite fascinated by like Native American mythology and totems and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it could certainly be turned into something interesting.
Absolutely. So yeah. But I don't know. I can't really think of anything else for us to cover in these aspects. So other than that, should we just wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I just want to thank everyone for watching and listening to the 6th episode of Rockstars on the Road, and I hope everyone enjoyed listening. To stay up to date on everything happening here on GTABase and more things Rockstar, such as occasional in-game photography from GTA 5 and RDR2, links to everybody's social media pages can be found down below. And finally, keep an eye out for more episodes coming sooner than later here on GTABase. And finally, feedback and or topic ideas are welcome down below as well in the comments. And once again, thanks for watching and listening, everyone. I hope to see everyone for the future episodes. And until those come out, stay safe, everyone, and keep the awesome community what it is. And thanks to Yangy for joining me. I hope you had fun once again. And that sums it up for the 6th episode of Rockstars on the Road. Stay safe and active, everyone. See you later, Rockstars. Keep on rocking.